This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game could be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learnt last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
For the Aussie Gridiron Network, this is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show on a Sunday. They call me Matty C. With me today, a man with six fingers, Dontavian Wicks. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good to be back. Fucking more puns coming from Kieran and awesome picks from the boys. Let's get into it.
It's going to be so good. Okay, so for those playing at home, this is actually Australia's finest fantasy analyst, Taylor Goodall. But I'm just trying to work out how to get your Sunday vibe on, mate. After you bring the heat on the Friday, I don't want to lose a sizzle in 48 hours. So I don't know. We'll keep working on it. Hey, yeah, look, with us today, of course, the maybe or maybe certainly the better Goodall, Kieran Goodall. Welcome back, mate.
Glad to be back, Matty. Glad to be back.
We had a bit of a chance to sift through your contract. You said you're contractually obligated on Friday. And, mate, that thing isn't worth the paper it's written on. What the fuck were you doing?
I don't know. I just woke up one morning and I'd signed something, but apparently it's keeping me here. So, you know, there's worse things in the world.
Yeah, well, you know, if you need to escape, blink twice. You know, we'll help you out, mate. I know that you may be held here against your will.
Yeah, I don't think Kenyon Drake can blink.
You probably can't, you know. It's... Yeah, he needs a vision. Hey, by the way, we've also got Pete Neal, who joined us on the Friday show back, mate. Welcome. Thanks for doing what you do and coming back to join us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me back. It's been a nice, cool, chilled weekend, and I've just I'm in the garage now, just with the heater on. It's nice out here, so I'm just enjoying my Sunday. It's nice. It's relaxed.
You could have got changed, Pete, from the last one. That must your outfit must fucking.
Are you kidding me? This is my Oodie, mate. This is my Oodie. This is Canberra outfit, buddy. You need it. I know Matty's wearing a t-shirt for some reason. He must have a really good heater in his garage. But no, mate, I need this Oodie. It's so comfortable.
It's almost like we filmed this on the same day. It's like he's really stuck to the bit, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, mate, I'm trying to be a professional over here, and you guys are shitting all over me. Come on.
Hey, you are far too professional for this outfit, mate. You are far too good at this.
That's it.
So for those who haven't caught up with Pete and Kieran for a little while, like we hadn't, just going to go and find the show on Friday. It's right here where you found this podcast. And you do have to quickly just skip back past the guys from G'day Gridiron. They had a show yesterday. If you haven't caught that, you're also doing right wrong. But make sure you catch the Friday show because that will catch you up with where Kieran and Pete have been up to for the last year or so since we were doing preseason and getting into some of the starts of the week shows from last year. So that brings us up to where we are today. We are going to get into the mailbag in a minute, answer a couple of questions for some of our mates in fantasy world, but also we had ducked through sort of the top 10-ish range of running backs. And here we are for the 2025 season, about to dive into the range where I think there is much more contention. It's the guys that are outside that top 10 range, right down through to about 25. And then the guys who are either dart throws or guys who we think that the tide is running away from, who you might also need to run away from. So this show is going to be a heck of a lot of fun, a lot of opinion, and I'm looking forward to that. But fellas, would you like to help out some fantasy community and get into the mailbag?
Hell yeah.
I don't know what help I'm going to be to these people, but sure, let's do it.
Surely you must have questions.
Please reach out to us.
When Tate and I get asked about fantasy advice, we are not backwards about coming forwards at any stage.
Get your question read live on the show.
If you've got a mailbag question or if you're really keen to just get on the show, we'll make it work.
At Aussie NFL Fantasy on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, I'm coming to you straight out of the gate here, Kieran, because Mexican Nick Chubb needs to know, is Caleb Williams, he's currently getting picked at around 13, quarterback 13. What do you think his ceiling is like this year in fantasy?
First of all, what was that guy's name? Mexican Nick Chubb. Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Oh.
Mexican Nick Chubb. You can find him on Instagram, mate. That's where we get the questions.
Hola.
Is he Mexican
Bonjour.
or does he enjoy Mexican food? And has ice got him yet? No? Okay. All right.
I don't know him personally, I'm afraid. I don't know.
Oh, I want to start the Sunday show. Not Friday.
All right, what's the question again? Caleb Williams. What was the rest of the question? Then I was too busy focusing on whether or not
the handle. Okay, so is Caleb Williams, he's getting picked around 13 in mock drafts. Is Caleb Williams, what is his ceiling like this year in fantasy?
Ooh, good question.
Well done, Mexican Nick Chubb.
Painted nails. Just taking those painted nails into consideration.
Very sassy.
He's very sassy. I'm sure he's on the TikTok with the kids of these days. I'm going to say not very high. I think he's going to be 15. 15. He won't even get to his 13. I have no basis to support my argument other than not a fan of the guy. Not my type. I'm a bit old for his generation, the TikTok generation. I just don't think he's going to do very well.
Mexican Nick Chubb, I hope you're writing this down. All right, this is
great stuff.
This is some great stuff.
I reckon Kieran, the correct answer here is because there are 14 quarterbacks I like better.
That is the correct answer. I should have said yes. You are right, man.
I mean, I don't know. When I don't have anything else, that's what I say. So keep that one in your pocket. Mexican Nick Chubb. Kieran reckons he's outside his draft value. Pete, do you concur or do you disagree?
Well, as a Packers fan, I think he's got a ceiling of quarterback 32. Eat shit, Caleb Williams.
There you go.
As someone who just despises the Bears, I gotta say, I think he could get towards that, quarterback 7 range. I think.
Yeah,
I reckon he could go. Obviously, he can go way better than Stroud. He could go way better than Herbert. He can go way better than those guys above him. He's got a lot of potential. Last year was dog shit, but new coach, new scheme, new weapons. If it doesn't work out this year for him, it's not looking good for the Bear fans, and we can only hope.
I mean, we've heard these sophomore quarterbacks are actually an avoid for a fellow like Isaac in fantasy this year. Tay, do you have a rosier outlook for Caleb Williams?
I do. I actually think his ceiling case is pretty high. I wouldn't say it's like well into the top 5, but my number I actually had in my head was 6, so probably similar to what Pete was saying. I just think the biggest reason we saw failure, I guess if you want to call it that, in his rookie season is his offensive line was just fucking horrendous. It was absolute dog shit. He was just getting hit straight away. Like, he had absolutely no chance to get rid of the ball. Sure, there was some rookie issues and some stuff that he probably could have worked on, but he just didn't have the time in the pocket. He's going to have that. His offensive line has been beefed up massively. I don't know if I've seen an offensive line change so dramatically in one season. It's got a PFF rank of 4 this year. It's going to help him out a lot. They've obviously taken Luther Burden in the first. Another year for Dunze to grow with Caleb. Obviously, bringing in Ben Johnson is massive. I think there's reason to believe that there's definite optimism for this offense. Like, if everything sort of moves in the right direction, there's no reason why he can't finish on the edge of that top 5. Do I project that's going to happen? No, but this is a ceiling case, so I'm kind of outlay everything. You get a first-round tight end in Loveland. Like, they have really invested in this offense, so I think there is a big ceiling case, but if I'm projecting it, I would still think he's going to finish somewhere sort of near the bottom of a quarterback 1, around that 12-13 range. But yeah, I see the ceiling.
We saw some awesome quarterback play last year, like really, really good quarterback play. But I think Caleb Williams threw some of the top 5 balls from last year. Some of those passes that he did last year were just absolutely insane. So if he can get, if the team can get that O-line fixed, and if Caleb can do more of those throws, mate, the possibilities are endless.
The next one out there is from @Spargo, which is a great handle. God, I love the handles. Is there a world where Debo is actually good this year and we end up getting him at a discount in drafts right now, Tay? I mean, you know where I stand on Debo, but what do you feel?
I don't know. It's a hard one. I do think he helps the Commanders. I don't know if this is going to be a huge fantasy relevant season for him, but it is going to be one that I think is going to help Jaden Daniels. I'm iffy on exactly what they're going to use him as. Like, people obviously have the upside case of him being used as a running back again, like he was at the Niners. And you can make the case that, if you're talking ceiling, the only reason they even went away from him in the backfield was because they went and got CMC. So there wasn't really much need for him to do that. Whereas when you walk into a room of Brian Robinson and an older Austin Eckler, there's probably more reason to believe they could use Debo in that way. But it's just, like it's a concern. Like if anything, that gives you more injury risk, and he's coming in looking like a fucking linebacker from what I've seen in the videos.
Oh, like he ate a linebacker. I mean, Jesus Christ, ate a sheep.
Looks fucking. Yeah, he's more like an O lineman, I think. But yeah,
looks like Johnny Bairstow.
Yeah, fucking George Rose out there. It's I don't know. I don't know where it all comes from. Look, if McLaurin holds out and all of a sudden he's not there week one, which I don't believe will happen, maybe there's reason to believe that there's an opportunity there for him. I just don't know if it's going to be consistent enough to be, relevant. Like you might have some blow up games where you think, oh shit, like maybe this is the old Debo, but then in the end, I just don't think it's going to be consistent enough. I do believe this Commanders offense is going to be quite good and it's going to take a step up even from last year. But I'm not projecting that Debo is going to be some breakout from where he's going at ADP. Will I take him? I think his ADP is fine. But I don't see him being some breakout success from that ADP.
You're not spending a lot to get him. But, Pete, how do you feel about Debo here? And I kind of wonder if this is in reaction to Terry McLaurin sort of complaining he hasn't got his extension yet. But, what do you feel, mate?
Oh, but I think it's the perfect best ball pickup. If you're playing best ball, just pick him up, throw him in. Like he'll have those insane killer 3 touchdown 100-yard games because that's what he does. They got Austin Eckler and Mr. Brian Robinson. So, yeah, their run game, I think, is cactus. They're not going to do that anymore. So, I don't know. I still like Debo. I think he's got 1 or 2 good seasons left in him. But, if you can pick him up, throw him on your bench, and you never know.
Hopeful?
Oh, sorry, Matty. Just had something stuck in my throat. Yeah, here's my analysis.
You should draft Deebo Samuel because he offers high upside in a new offense tailored to his unique dual-threat skill set, especially with a young quarterback in Jaden Daniels who can benefit from Samuel's strong yards after catch ability and usage in the screen game and gadget plays. While his 2024 season was somewhat muted, his move to the Washington Commanders and a reworked contract that guarantees salary and adds incentives suggest he's being set up for a bounce-back year as a primary playmaker.
Oh, yeah.
You should draft Deebo Samuel.
Oh, hell, shit. It's going again.
That's amazing.
So clean that finish. That was so clean.
See, mate, your timber really changed there as you got into your stride of delivering that analysis. So,
it's one of those colds. It's one of those colds that give you a bit of a high pitched voice. Raises it a bit. It somehow increases my knowledge too. I don't know, John, what's going on there.
That sounded like less knowledge than your last take on Caleb. Like if anything, that you don't get.
Oh,
I don't want to let any more Mexican Nick Chubbs down. So I thought I'd better, improve my game a bit.
I'm sure Smack Espargo very helpful, but we'll find that very helpful now. Good on you, Smacker.
This podcast is presented by BYD. I'd like to.
Mate, it is building my dreams. 100%. I can't.
Unbelievable.
Big young Debos.
Mate, I've got one more about a wide receiver, and I'm going to come straight to Kieran because if you give him too much time, he gets
Matty, I came on here for running back analysis. That's the only thing I've looked at. Why the fuck would I know about wide receivers right now? I haven't even looked at anyone. What is the question? Tell me what the question is.
Your analysis is there. It was so on point. How do I go away from you? You've got the hot hands, mate. You got the hot hands.
Well, I need warning.
7 minutes. I need 7 minutes.
It's one of the colds that I need warning before you come to me.
I can't type. Think fast enough.
How about I go to the lesser good all first on this one, because this one is from Jules Matriciani. Matriciani? That's a tough surname. Mate, after finishing in points per game outside the wide receiver 3 range last year, why has Marvin Harrison Jr. been drafted as a wide receiver 2?
Oh, it's just the classic second-year bump, to be honest. Obviously, he came in with absolutely ridiculous expectations. Like, we were on this podcast last year saying how ridiculous his ADP was. Like, we thought you could have a good rookie season, a very good rookie season, and still not hit anywhere near the ADP he was going last year. He was getting drafted at the edge of the top 12. Like, he was getting drafted like a 1. It was just absurd. So I think people probably came out of that thinking he had a worse year than he actually did. He actually had a pretty fine rookie season. So, like, if anyone's really down on him, put a trade request for him in dynasties, because if anyone actually is far lower on him than they should be, I would be trying to get Marv, to be honest, because I think there's only reason for optimism this year. You are right, like where he's going this year doesn't really marry up with what he did last year, but that's classic rookie in a sophomore wide receiver situation. Like, he's just he's put on weight. You've obviously seen that, so that's going to help him in the contested catch. Hopefully it's a little bit less like what we talked about with Tebow, like big plays in one game and then shootouts to the next two. So I think he's just going to have a better rapport with Kyler this year. I don't mind him where he's going in ADP. I think it's a completely fine price. Where I'm sort of projecting him is kind of close to that ADP, so I don't know if I'll have a lot of him because I don't have the same upside to believe that he's going to be a guy I want to put on a whole bunch of my teams. But I definitely feeling for him because, you saw the pedigree before he came into the league. You saw flashes of it last year, and now generally, players go far better in their second year than they do in their first. So there's definitely reason for optimism.
I mean, Pete, do you share the same optimism?
Yeah, Tate, just what's his ADP, mate?
His ADP?
Yeah, what's his ADP?
18, 19.
Right now? 18.
18 to 20?
Yeah, right, okay. So, no, I'll be snatching up for sure. I don't think he's going to go worse than that. That's why. I think he's not going to go as bad as last year in terms of his production. Everything that Taylor says, I agree with. There's Trey McBride there, but who else are they really throwing to? And he's just, mate, he will do better. Stamp that down. Whoever asked that question, he'll do better than that. Just go grab him. Chris Jones, if you're listening to me, I'll send you a trade request shortly.
I'll do it.
Oh, wow.
Do it now. Okay.
Matty, at the start, did you say he was going wide receiver 2, did you? Is that what you said at the start?
Yeah, so after finishing outside the wide receiver 3 range, so outside the top 30, why is Marvin Harrison being drafted as a wide receiver 2? So he's saying as in... Gotcha. A second wide receiver on your team. So not the second wide receiver. I was just loving the irony of someone with the name Junior going at number 2. So, but you caught me off guard. It felt like he would do these massive plays and you wouldn't see him again all game. He'd have 2 massive plays and you wouldn't see him. So he's a risk. I'm not going to lie. Okay.
Buyer beware.
Trust him? Do you trust him? Would you be comfortable rolling him out as your wide receiver 2 every week, or is it a bit iffy?
I don't trust him, but what auto draft gives me, I'll probably take. So, we'll go with it.
You'll see Kieran starring in Grand Theft Auto Draft coming to a console shop near you.
I like that. Yes, Matty, that's
Grand Theft Auto Draft.
Nicholas Cage.
We're
so lucky to have Kes here, aren't we? We're just the wisdom being imparted.
It's a fucking treasure. The guy's a national treasure, Taylor. Leave him alone.
Oh, don't bring up national.
Oh no, don't do that. Yeah, we'll be here all day.
Yes, that's a new podcast waiting to happen.
Yeah, that'll be happening here on the AGN feed right after this podcast. So, hey, fellas, look, thank you so much for helping with the mailbag. I'm hoping we help Smack Espargo and his mates there, Mexican Nick Chubb and Jules with a tough surname. We will dive into the mailbag every week, all season long as the show progresses, but especially on the Sunday show. Fellas, we need to start talking about running backs. Let's do it.
G'day, Gridiron.
Some of the things that come out of my mouth, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, I joke that I've got enough drops from Brad right now that I could probably create Brad AI.
Twice a week all season long on the Aussie Gridiron Network.
I don't care that you're 22 years old. No phones!
G'day, Gridiron.
First running back off the heap this week, we were talking about pretty well the top 10 guys. Last show, we thought guys like Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Jameer Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty, Kyron Williams, Devon Achane, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, Williams, threw Bucky Irving in there as well because there's a lot of faith in him. From here, there does seem to be a clear divide. Guys like James Cook and Down do seem to be largely outside of people's top 10s. Very difficult to find anyone who rates James Cook higher than that. I've got him at 10, but I'm a little nervous about that because I saw Ray Davis getting good touches last year. James Cook did have quite a lot of touchdowns last year. The volume of touchdowns may not be so repeatable, but I'm just backing that Buffalo want it more than everyone else this year, and I kind of think James Cook gets carried along with that momentum of they pretty much have to win it all this season or things go to heck in a handbasket. Tay, you've got him much cooler at 15. What says you?
Yeah, look, last year he was like, obviously I brought up Henry and Barkley, but honestly, Cook was the one that if I had to pick a my guy, it was him. I was all over him. I thought honestly, it's kind of the opposite case for him this year than it was last year. I thought he was in for positive touchdown regression. It was insane. He had all these touches, especially in the second half of the year when they had the OC change, but he had no touchdowns. I think it was 2 on the season, which was absurd for a Buffalo offense, which was moving the ball very well. And for Cook, who had that many touches, but just didn't get into the end zone, it was crazy. And then last year, the complete opposite happened. But what was kind of worrying to me about Cook was the fact that he had all those touchdowns but didn't really push forward in terms of running back finish. He finished about anywhere between 8 and 10, depending on your format the year before, with no touchdowns, which gave me so much optimism. But then all of a sudden last year, he had all the touchdowns and finished about the same. I think he finished at running back 8. So it's kind of weird to believe that. It worries me more because if that's what he gets this year in terms of usage, he needs all those touchdowns to finish in that top 10. So I believe it's somewhere between the 2 seasons in terms of touchdowns. I don't think he has 2 again, but I don't think he's somewhere around the 15 range either. I think he's somewhere around the 8 or 9, which is fine. It's far better than he was 2 years ago. But my concern is if his usage, like I said, is the same and he has 8 or 9 touchdowns, he's going to finish like I've ranked him in somewhere between running back 14 and 15, which is a fine season. And to be fair, his ADP isn't where he finished last year. It's not around 8. It actually is closer to where we're ranking him. So that's fine. It isn't some absurd price on him. But I'm just a little bit concerned that he needs a ridiculous touchdown rate again to finish exactly where he did last year.
I had a note written here, Captain Cook to discover the end zone again. Bit of a colonialist pun there. But no, I had him ranked the same as you, Matty, 10. Yeah. I think Buffalo's offense is pretty hard to ignore. He's always a big part of it. That's what I had written here. That's where you bring me on.
Do you think when he discovers the end zone, he'll find there's already people in it and he'll just pretend they went?
And kind of just push them to the side.
This is a completely empty end zone, as you can see from the people who aren't here.
I wasn't going to go there, Matty. You took it in that direction, mate. I just mentioned Captain Cook and discovering things, but you went there.
I did. I had to give it the nudge, mate. I didn't know you were going to do it, so I've just dragged you with me. This next range of guys, say, when you take your ranking and my ranking, you put them together, you divide it by 2, these guys you can throw a fucking blanket over. Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon. If you look at our individual rankings, though, we actually have a lot more difference. Kenneth Walker, clearly your favourite out of this lot. Tell us why.
Yeah, I've talked about him a lot on the podcast this sort of preseason. To me, he's the one where there isn't so much analysis in terms of like, why I believe he's going to be far better than last year, or this team all of a sudden has a far better offensive line. Like generally, their offensive line's still ranked pretty shit. The thing for me with him is it's an eye test thing. I heard someone say he's the T. Higgins of the running back position, and honestly, it is so true because he is so talented. Yeah, he is just so marred with injury. It is just so frustrating. Like, we talk about CMC upside he has. I think Kenneth Walker, he doesn't quite have a CMC upside, but he has a far bigger upside than any of us realise. We just haven't seen it because it's never happened consistently. I watched him score 3 touchdowns on the hardest rushing defense in the league in the Detroit Lions last year, and he did it effortlessly. He just looked like he was flowing out there, and then all of a sudden he was injured 2 weeks later. And then it was just a frustrating situation. And I'm looking at this like I believe there's upside in his health. That is honestly the biggest reason I'm ranking him there, because my hope is that if he plays at least like 15 games this year, I think you're going to see a true breakout from him. And I, as much as I don't think the Seattle team with Darnold's going to be like this amazing offense, I just think there's a chance that they're going to run the ball, that their coach is an old DC, and I think they're going to want to really establish it on the ground. So I think there's going to be a lot of volume, and I'm projecting health for him finally. And that's why I've got him at the edge of that sort of top 12. I've got him at 11 because I just think he's a freak on the field. So if he can stay on it, that's what I'm going to project.
Yeah, and Kieran, you kind of have a lot of these guys in a tight cluster as well. Kenneth Walker is your favourite of these 4 players too, between Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon. What is it you like about Kenneth Walker in this pack?
I love Sam Darnold. I'm a Darnold guy. And Walker there. So I'm just like, by proxy, I'm going to be liking Kenneth Walker. So
I like that. Weirdly, too, of this range, Kenneth Walker is not high for you, Pete. You actually hate him the most of the guys in this range. You've also got Joe Mixon fairly low as well in that range. You sort of got him more towards the bottom of this running back 2 range. What is it that gives you pause about Kenneth Walker after we've just heard Taylor waxing lyrical about how he could be a running back 1?
Yeah, it's made us sad. I've literally in my notes I've just says stay healthy, could be way higher. And that's really it. He's an absolute weapon. He really, really is. He's such a good running back, but God damn it, to stay on the field, Kenneth. The other part of me worries a little bit about Mr. Charbonnet as well. He's really fucking good. And they might be a little bit worried about his health, about Walker's health, so they just feed the ball to Charbonnet a little bit more this year as well. Not quite sure. But I think, as Tate alluded to, they're going to go to the running backs a little bit more this year because I'm not like Kieran. I think Sam Darnold is a pack of shit. I think last year was just the perfect system, the perfect everything. He's going to a way different system, and he's going to go back to the old Jets days, Sam Darnold, where he just sucks and nuts. So I think they're going to give the ball to Walker and to Charbonnet way, way, way more than they did in the previous years. And yeah, so the possibilities are endless for a talent like Walker. It's just keep your butt on the field, my man. That'd be great.
Straight back into a pumpkin for Sam Darnold by the sound of that, mate, and taking everything with him. In this same range, Joe Mixon, actually, this is a guy who you're way lower on, Kieran. You've got him at 19. Taylor and I have him a little higher than that. We sort of believe a little bit more than him that being that mid-range running back too. But what is it about Joe Mixon that gives you a bit of pause, mate?
Good question. Potentially holding on to some baggage from previous years where he has either been good against me or I've had him and he sucked.
It's personal, I get it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with personally just taking a swipe at someone in your rankings because you don't like them because of whatever harm they've done to you. I mean, that's fair.
There's no King and Drake.
He's no King and Drake. So you're a little bit more optimistic. I've got him at 13. You got him at 16. So you don't sort of love him like I do. But and Pete's got him in that same range, sort of 18. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I think is positive for Mixon here is that he's in a system where they've literally just gone and dragged the carcass of Nick Chubb in to try and help support him. And I just feel like volume's going to be his friend.
Volume's king with him. It's lettuce sandwichy. We gave Kirk Cousins the lettuce sandwich award. I kind of feel like Joe Mixon's like that in a way because he kind of just gets underdrafted every single year. Everyone just assumes the fall off's coming. They assume that there's a younger guy that's going to take over him, and every year he just seems to find his way to a very good fantasy finish. Last year was insane. Like he was running back 1 halfway through the year. Like he was having a freakish season. It definitely fell off. He got injured, and then the last 4 weeks was frustrating, especially as an owner. In a few leagues, it was like he's about to come back and then he didn't, and then he came back and he wasn't fully healthy, and it was like he would have been better off just sitting on your bench and not playing at all. So it was a weird finish for him. But my only concern for him is like, and really this was a concern last year too. Their offensive line is so shit. It actually got worse. Like they got rid of Tunsil, who was their best offensive lineman by far. They was still shit house last year. Now they're ranked last per PFF. So that is my concern. But the good thing is for Mixon, like we brought up, volume. Even if it gets there in a really, really shitty way and he's going 3.5 a carry, he's just going to have that many touches that he could actually find his way to the end zone and still save your day. So I do think he's a very, very safe pick to me. It doesn't have as much upside as it had last year, I believe, but it is safe. I don't think you're going to go wrong taking Mixon.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Tay, have you told Quinny anything about this?
No, not even a little bit.
5 questions from 2 dickheads.
6 teams on a bye?
It just made me a bit sad and a bit depressed.
Get your question read live on the show.
You got a quarterback for us, Quinny?
I do. I'm going Kyler Murray.
At Aussie NFL Fantasy on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, the defense isn't the thing that they're leading on this year. They just basically just get road raced.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
The next tier of guys is super great because it's guys like Mexican Nick Chubb. Get him out there. Chuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, James Conner. There is a range of outcomes for these guys, and it doesn't get hotter than my mate Pete Neal here, who believes in Alvin Kamara in a way that nobody else on earth does. Hey, can you explain to me where you've got Alvin Kamara ranked and why?
Yeah, I've got him at, what have I got him at? Number 10. Because my question to you is who? Yeah. I think he's still got it. And
I feel like
he's still got it, baby.
What?
No, mate. This is going to be like one of those. The final calls for Kamara. He's gonna chew. He's still got it. He's still got it. And my question to you is, who else have the Saints got? Like Olave, as good as he is, he'll get concussed in week 2, so he'll be gone. And the quarterback situation is absolutely terrible. They've got no one else. It's going to be, all right, Kamara, here's the rock. Just go nuts. I love him. All right, yeah, he's great. 10, maybe even 8. Why not? He'll do well.
It's a volume thing, right? Like it's not even just all the rushing. It's just that he's going to be out there catching passes from shy quarterbacks in the backfield. Where are the points come from?
That's right. The Saints, if they're going to do something
it's a vibe,
well,
isn't it, Pete? It's a vibe. It's a
vibe. It's constitution. That's the vibe.
It's Marbo. That's the vibe.
It's how I.
So to shift from that to Chuba Hubbard, Tate, this is the guy you love the most in this range, and you raised him 4, 5 spots maybe since we last talked about Chuba Hubbard, and there's some optimism for you about Carolina that maybe other people haven't caught on to. So I don't understand why and how you're going to go about converting people to your way of thinking here.
Yeah, he's giving me a raging tuber right now. Ranked 13, but number 1 in my heart. I just think he's getting ranked too low here, and just thought, it's only because he just got thrusted into this running back 1 position. The Panthers are shit. It's just not going to repeat. But if you actually look at his numbers, there's reason to believe he could actually be better than last year. I don't think Rico Dowdle's a big enough star or anything like that to make me believe that he's going to take a punch off him. I think this Panthers team is actually getting underrated as an offense this year. I think there's reason why Bryce Young will take a leap forward. I'm not saying he's going to be a top, half of the league quarterback all of a sudden, but I do believe after these 2 years, he's going to take a step forward. And then I am a big believer in Ted McMillan. I think he's going to help Bryce Young. He's the perfect wide receiver for him, which is going to move this offense forward. I've brought up the PFF ranking of these guys. It seems to get better every single year. They've got a top 10 offensive line. They're going to be able to run the shit out of the ball. And I believe they're going to have I've got reason to believe they're going to be in front in more games than they have been in the last 5 or 6 years. So I think there's actually more rushing opportunity for Chuba this year than there probably was last year, because they were down so often that they actually had to pass a lot. And Chuba is a fine pass catcher, but for him to have huge fantasy success, I think he needs to be rushing the ball more, and that's where he's going to get his huge yards and his touchdowns opportunities. So answer this for me. Pete does this, answer this. I'll do one too. Because I guarantee what the other side of the devil's advocate argument would be, and it's going to be the Panthers are shit, the Panthers are shit, the Panthers are shit. How were the Panthers last year? Shit. How was Cuba? Awesome. So why does the Panthers being shit matter? He just proved that what he can do in a terrible offense. There's no way. I'm telling you right now, there is no way this Panthers offense is worse than it was last year. There's absolutely no way. So I don't understand how he's not value. I don't understand it, people.
The fellow next in line is James Conner, and we've got him kind of, it's a bit, everyone's kind of got him on the edge of their top 20, except for Pete Neal, who's solidly an RB2. I've got him at 15. Where's the confidence come from for James Conner, mate? I mean, it's the surname. I understand. He's a pretty good Conner, and Connor's a fantastic. You should have seen me at running back, mate. But what else? What else you got?
You would die.
I would die.
After I sent those running back listings to you, I did write down this morning. Where is it? This one worries me a little with his injuries history. Plus, he's coming off a knee injury from last season. So, this is that Taylor Goodall optimism. If he stays on, he's just going to go so well. And James, just stay on the field, buddy. Just stay on the field, and you'll be right. You'll hit that 15 for sure.
We were supposed to write things down before this. Oh shit! Okay.
No, this is just for me, dude. Otherwise, I forget. My brain it's a pretzel at the moment. So, yeah, this is just for me, baby.
I hope you're putting some stuff down, Kieran, because I'm coming to you next. I want to know, while everyone in the world's got Dave Montgomery in there sort of, around the 20 range, you've got him at 30. Do you just hate Dave Montgomery? Did he, slap you in the face one day? What happened with you and Dave Montgomery?
Much a bigger fan of Leroy Jethro Gibbs at the one, and I'm not a big fan of picking twos, to be honest. Leroy Jethro doesn't need no sidekick, mate. So I wasn't a big fan.
I think there was an NCIS message in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope someone got
That
my
was it.
NCIS reference. Otherwise, that was the
I've got
dumbest
a kiss
of all time.
The other guys in this region, though, DeAndre Swift, who's Chicago this year, everyone's sort of got him ranked in that middle of the the running back 3 sort of range, somewhere between
Suzuki
22.
Swift.
The Suzuki Swift, and maybe even lower than that. I've actually seen one person rank him as high as 20. Pete, you clearly feel like there's a bit of a volume bump there with some changes in Chicago.
Yeah, this is just full optimism. That's all. With he's worked with Ben Johnson before as well, and Ben Johnson he's used him pretty well. Have they got along in the past? Yes. Have they got along in the past? No. So we don't know what it's going to look like on the Bears field, but similar to the Panthers, I think they're just going to be a better outfit. They're going to be staying on the field longer, and they're going to use. I think they're going to use a lot of Swift. Don't want to step on my sleeper name as well, but even Roshan Johnson, I think he's going to go because I think he's really, really, really good, Johnson as well. And Ben Johnson might get a lot out of him. This really could be a Gibbs Montgomery type of outfit in the Bears running back group. So keep an eye on those two lads for sure.
Well, I hope so. And this is where we get into contentious range, right? So we've gotten through about 23 odd running backs, and from here, kind of becomes open season, right? Each of us have guys who we think are probably better value than the next guy. Each of us have guys who we think, fuck, I am running away from that bloke in the face of someone else having that confidence. I want to just quickly lean on you, Pete, because I thought I was the hottest guy on earth on Travis Etienne when I ranked him as my running back 23, but you've actually come to 22. No one else on the earth has that kind of confidence in Travis Etienne. What's doing, brother? Why are you stealing my Jack's thunder?
I still believe in the talent. I think it's in there, and we talked about this earlier before the pod in the green room about more about Trevor Lawrence. I think same thing with Trevor with Etienne here. I think he's just got to. There's just better people around him. They're just smarter. I really like Liam Cohen, what he did for Bucky as well. I think that will translate into Etienne's game really, really well because I think there's a lot of similarities between those two people, and it wouldn't surprise me if Etienne has like one of those cracking years, like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. He was really, really good. I haven't given up on the big fella. I really hope he has a kick-ass year. I really do. So that was more of, again, another optimism pick at running back 22 for my man. But just fingers crossed because I like him.
I'm all in as well. Hey, Tay, in this range, one of the guys you've got in that higher sort of, probably higher than other people around you is Brian Robinson at Washington. We're just talking about Debo earlier there. The way you were talking about Debo maybe didn't the Brian Robinson thing. You got him at 23, which is maybe 7 or 8 spaces higher than the major sites consensus.
Yeah, he's another one I've sort of brought up a few times in our preseason shows. I just really like this Commanders offense. I do believe Brian Robinson's going to get the lion's share over Eckler. I mean, Eckler's not completely going away.
The Commanders share, maybe.
The Commanders share? Oh, good shout out, old joke of Manjot days. Shows the lowbrow stuff that we do on the show. I just think he's going to get the higher share than Eckler. I really do. And I think Eckler at this age is probably starting to head down the hill, not up it. I think he's going to get less share than he probably had last year. I'm not saying he goes completely away, but I think for an offense that's on the up, Jaden Daniels going into year 2, I think there's going to be more games where they're leading, so they're going to need that rusher between the tackles a lot more. Their offensive line is better. They grabbed Tunsil, obviously, from the Texans. I think they're going to be a far better offensive line than they were last year, and this offense in general is going to be good. So I just think I'm going to take the lead back, and I think there's huge touchdown opportunities for him. He's not much of a pass catcher. I'm not saying he's going to break fantasy football or anything like that. I just think he's a value where he's going in the low 30s. Like I said, I've put him at 23. So, I just think there's room for value there.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
This feels the opposite of being picked in the sack. Let's fucking go.
You know how some years I'm like, fucking Taylor doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we're normally called major wankers instead of rankers. So, that can be our tagline.
In a car in the dark with a full erection.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Now, Kieran, I want to ask you about 2 guys. One of them...
Najee.
Yeah. Well, he grew an extra leg by shedding the Steeler jersey. Tell me about your love of Najee. Everyone else on earth sort of ranks him around that running back sort of 30 kind of range. Tay and I, we're much more bullish. We got him in the mid-20s. Mate, you got him at 20. I am so impressed with you. Sing me the song.
Well, yeah, in the last episode, I did talk about the old Steelers theory. You get out of the Steelers and you grow an extra leg. So, yes, you are correct. Harbaugh, run heavy offense, comes in. Who's the other competition? Hampton and Edwards. They both suck.
God, people are on Hampton, though. My God, people seem to love Hampton. How
does Hampton suck? How does Hampton suck? He's going to be better than Ashton Jefferson.
Bag of dicks is going to be. Fucking should have stayed in the Hamptons, old Amarian. He
eating those vine ripe tomatoes.
Eating those yeah, I just think it's run heavy offense. He's coming. He's always been a great running back. The Steelers fucking sucked while he was there, to be honest, on offense. He had not much opportunity. He's going to be in a new offense. He's going to eat.
He also might be a fucking cyclops because I think he blew one of his eyes off at fucking 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
In the Hamptons, ironically.
There you go. Maybe Amarian had something to do with it.
It's like sabotage.
While I'm with you, Kieran, though, I've got to talk to you about Aaron Jones.
Please stay with me. Please do.
I've deliberately ignored Aaron Jones because we all love him better than consensus, but you love him even more. And I'm just kind of wondering, where does this love come from? Because it's not like he's got some sort of team affiliation where you would love him. Has he done something for you personally? Has he got, I don't know, has he got things that would make him more valuable than we don't realize? Because you've got him at 17. Tay and I also 17 and 20. So, like, we're believers. I just want to hear why you're a believer.
Why don't you tell me, Matty? Why don't you tell me?
Hey, Tay, do we have any room for a quick Kevin O'Connell love-in? Do you reckon you could dive in and do a little bit of that?
I don't think I've brought the cock up much, but I'll talk about KOC again. I just love his offenses. Fucking awesome. He made Sam Darnold into a thing. Do I say any more, Pete? Like he turn that, mold that absolute piece of shit into fucking clay. I don't know what's he not going to be able to do with Aaron Jones? The offensive line's amazing. They're similar to the Bears. They made it even better than last year. They're going to be able to move the ball with this offense. I do think Jordan Mason will be involved, but I still think Jones is going to be the lead back. And what we saw at the Packers is that he doesn't need a huge snap share anyway. Like at the Packers, he was often only playing somewhere between 50 and 60% of the snaps anyway, even in his best fantasy years. So I think even at age 30 for redraft this year, I think he's in for a good year.
Yeah, and I mean, he spent the early part of his career behind other running backs, and he may not have as much wear as some people talk about when you get to an age 30 running back. So I'm also pretty confident in his ability there. He was kind of part of that mash of things that was Jamal Williams and stuff behind Eddie Lacy, who we also talked about in the green room earlier, that we all just loved Eddie Lacy. Yeah, Big Eddie. He was the charter food buffet, that guy. Hey, Pete, I want to throw the floor open to you just to talk about, have you got a running back that we haven't brought up that you are just a little bit hotter on now, kind of just a guy to squirrel away, someone you got a bit extra love for?
In this range? Are you alluding to someone? Is it Javonte?
I mean, he's the one guy who is kind of standing out like a big savage erection for a high schooler walking through like the quadrangle trying to cover it with his books. Like, you are all about Javonte. What's going on there?
I just feel we could see some rookie Javonte come out this year in Dallas. They're going to need someone to fucking run the ball. I know they drafted someone. My apologies. Who did they draft this year?
Jaden Blue, his name.
Blue? Yes, it was Jaden Blue. Yeah. So, mate, you'll sit on the bench for a little bit, Jaden. You'll go for a run or two per game, but...
Miles Sanders is there too, mate. Are you worried about Miles Sanders?
he's still alive. The big fella's still alive. Go, Miles.
Yeah, he and Rico Dowdle swap spots, mate. Are you worried?
Of course. No. I think him and Zach Moss will be sharing some Mai Tais in the near future. No, again, it's one of those plays that I've seen it. I've seen the talent, and he's in a new system. He's way off that injury, and apparently he's looking quite fit and he's doing quite well. So I'll believe in it. Go Javonte.
All four of us seem to like him better than ADP, but it's just weird to hear a Packers guy in on a Dallas Cowboys running back. So it's just
I know that. I know realism hurts sometimes.
Now, when you get outside this range, now we're talking about guys who are, we've kind of gotten to fellas who could be your flex and you might be comfortable with as your running back too. Now we're starting to look at the guys who do you just have a gut feel about, Pete? Who's somebody a bit further down the list you're like, this could be value?
There's a couple of rookies this year. Kieran touched on Marion Hampton. I think he's definitely a second half of the year guy. So if you want to draft him,
Kieran touched on Marion Hampton to say did he say he sucks? Is that? Can I get the quote again?
I think I said he should have stayed in the Hamptons. That was my quote, but. Yeah, something like that.
Pete, that's why he mentioned Marion Hampton. Did you write that down?
I think on Friday I alluded to Kieran being a piece of shit. And I think everyone knows now. After we're almost done with podcast 2, and I think everyone's like, "Oh yeah,"
and Kieran pieces of shit.
Yeah. Compare them, put them together. Yep.
There's one that stands out like a sore thumb. There's a couple of rookies, but one that stands out like a sore thumb is Dylan Sampson with everything that's been happening in Cleveland. Yeah, so if he gets a chance early, because if there's any type of Judkins fall back from what happens here and the rock gets pushed into Simpson's hands, yeah, I think he's good enough to do a lot with it. So that's a cracking little sleeper. I mentioned my concerns about Christian McCaffrey, so maybe some Isaac Garendo love. There's a bunch of others. I mentioned Roshan Johnson, but yeah, I'm just looking at my list. My boy, Marshawn Lloyd. Mate. Oh, this could be.
How many do you want, Pete?
This could be the year. Mate, I write things down.
I can't even come up with one, and you'll get like how many?
Kieran, as I said,
I had Austin Eckler, Reason, Johnson prone to being shot.
Taylor, I say this every week.
Robinson. I couldn't even read my own writing.
I was like, he got shot in the what?
What the what's it?
I'm out.
And then the other one I had written down was Brashard Smith, Kansas City Chiefs, but then I just Googled it and it said he may not make the roster. So we won't go with him either.
Real eyes to tell it, Kieran Goodall.
I mean, if you're talking about guys who are outside the top 30, though, like Isaiah Pacheco, as it is, who's apparently the lead back, is getting drafted around 26. And then behind that, you got either a rookie or the big fat version of Kareem Hunt that was getting around flopping over from half a yard out in playoff games last year. So, I mean, it's not like there's a depth of amazing talent at Kansas City.
I am prone to liking me some Kareem Hunt, so maybe that's the play.
I'll tell you right now, I don't like
ready to just fall out half a yard. So, write his name down.
Yeah.
I don't like the hate on Pacheco, by the way. I don't know. I think he was really injured last year. Yeah, I think he was really injured last year. I think he could be back.
So you've got a couple of guys in this sort of range as well. We're sort of talking outside maybe the top 30, or guys who you value a little higher than that, who you can currently get later than that.
I got someone way higher. I actually updated my running back, and you talked about Pete putting someone at 22. I just put someone at 22. It's J.K. Dobbins. I actually think he's insane value this year. They've already come out and, I mean, it's a bet report, so you don't know 100% like if that's going to be true or if it's gospel, but they do seem to believe that he's going to be the lead back. It's another situation where RJ Harvey's obviously got the juice and he's the younger player and he had the second round draft capital, but I just think they're going to trust Dobbins off the bat. And this offensive line is amazing. It's second in the league per PFF. They got a second ranked defense, so they're going to be leading in a lot of games. I think they're going to be running the ball a fuck ton. I think the way this team is built is they want to lean on the run. I think they wanted to do it more last year, but they just didn't. They had a limping Javonte Williams. They were sort of throwing McLaughlin in there, who's more of a pass catcher, and Odrick Estime, had flashes but could never be consistent. I know that a lot of this was just Peyton wanting to throw multiple backs, but I really do believe this is going to get kind of condensed down to Dobbins and Harvey, and Dobbins is going to get the Broncos share initially, and Harvey's going to have to actually work for it. So I think with that ridiculously good offensive line, I think there's an opportunity for Dobbins to hit the ground running, kind of like he did last year for the Chargers. It's one of those ones where I'm ranking Dobbins in front of Harvey, but I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey has the better finish to the year over Dobbins.
Oh, yeah.
The way that I draft is I want to take shots on guys that start the year well because they can either become trade bait or they're the guys that are getting you off to a flyer in your fantasy seasons. So I would rather take a Dobbins and try and trade for Harvey halfway through the year. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah, and I think the same about the Najee and Hampton situation is the guy who drafts Hampton is probably going to be unhappy through 4 or 5 weeks, and he becomes a trade target where then you've just spent such less capital to go and get Najee early on. So, and we kind of all felt like Najee, or a majority of us kind of felt like Najee was good value in that, and ETN was kind of another guy in that range for me, Javonte Williams, and then for me as well, I'm big on Tyler Algier. If you're going to be big on Bijan Robinson, we've seen Tyler Algier can actually hold fantasy volume while Bijan Robinson is healthy. So for me, that's if we think Bijan Robinson's even more valuable than he was last year, Tyler Algier has to be more valuable than he was last year by virtue, if nothing else, of anything slows Bijan down, Algier's going to pick it up. So they're kind of the guys who I'm sort of heavy on, and we've spoken a lot about a bunch of them beforehand. But that's just Cliff Notes version. Now, Pete, is there anyone you hate? Anyone you're running away from? Anyone that you'd prefer to have herpes than that on your roster?
It's not this guy I don't hate, but I hate him in his ADP, which is Ashton Genty, the rookie. Like everyone's just jizzing over this bloke. You know, what's his ADP? Tell me that again. Was it 5 or 6?
Yeah, 5.5.
5.5. Mate,
so he's around about the same value as Christian McCaffrey, running back 4-5.
Yeah. Well, I'm like McCaffrey too, but I'll pick Bucky over him. I'll pick HN over him. I'd pick Jacobs over him. Connor Williams over him. All these rookies that they haven't even played a snap yet, and they get these huge ADPs, and just everyone froths at the bit of them. You know, I've got a little hot take on Ashton Genty as well, because I know that his rushing yards were just astronomically huge in his last season, but 70% of that was yards after contact. I think these NFL players are going to eat him up. So if he's running at the line all the time, and I think he's going to have to fix that part up. I don't know. I'm going way against consensus here, but I don't know. I'm just not going to pick him up this year.
I think you're taking a shot at a big dog, right? This is someone who's, consensus inside the top 5 or 6 practically everywhere, and you're just saying, no.
Yeah, I'll wait till I see it. Yeah, 2026 is another year. If I'll wait until then, but not this year. It's happened so many times with these rookies. It even happened with Bijan his first year. It happened with Marvin Harrison Jr. It happened with Caleb Williams. It happened with Trevor Lawrence. It's happened with all these guys. You touched on the Steelers running backs. God only knows what's going on there.
What do you do?
Even the New York Giants running backs. There's so many of those situations this year, like the Chargers and like the Broncos, like Taylor said, and same goes with the Giants. We could have Tracy start off the year well, and then all of a sudden it's Scatterboo's game. So they're tough ones for me. They're tough ones.
Hey, Kieran, you got anyone you're running away from, whether it's high or low on the draft board?
I had Breece Hall on my list here.
Now, we didn't spend a lot of time on him.
Yeah, no, I just had him on my list here just because how much the Jets suck, to be honest. And he's obviously coming off injury. Jets suck. They've got old mate quarterback freaking, oh my God.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. I should know. I'm so over him that being Steelers quarterback that I completely forgot his name. I don't have a memory of the running backs being very good when he was there, though. I could be wrong, but that was my memory of it. So whether I'm right or wrong, that's for you guys to prove me right or wrong. In theory, stay away.
Now, who do you hate that you're running away from in terms of there's just guys you're not going to own? Just guys you're not going to own.
This one kills me, Matty. And honestly, play some somber music over this because I have loved this guy for multiple years. I have, honestly, there would be leagues, and if you put it out there and said, who does Taylor like the most? It's this guy. And he's the guy that I'm probably avoiding the most just because of what's happened in the off-season. There was a big retirement that I think hurts him most. But pour one out for David Montgomery. I'm not going to have any David Montgomery this year at all. I've ranked him far lower than his ADP. I believe that the Ragnar son retirement is massive for him. I think the fact that he is the best center in the game, if not top 3, and the fact is that Monty relies on that. He rushes the ball straight down the fucking middle, and he needs that offensive line play the most. I think Gibbs is going to be fine, if not better, because I think they're actually going to have games where they're down a little bit more this year, and they're going to need the elusive back that can run on the outside of the offensive line and get open like Gibbs can. I think the person that hurts the most from the offensive line taking a hit is Monty. I don't think they're going to be able to rush the ball as much as they did last year. So I'm seeing huge red flags for Monty this year. Obviously, there is always the upside that if Gibbs went down, you've got Monty there to be almost like a back one because just by that happening. But in terms of just the value for Monty by himself, I'm worried. I really think that this could be the end for him in terms of like having really, really good fantasy value, even on this Lions team, because I just think Gibbs is going to be way more needed with this team this year than he was last 2 years.
Way more in-depth analysis than mine, on why I didn't like Montgomery. That was much better.
Mate. We've all got you're talking about Hamptons, I don't have that kind of knowledge.
That's true.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Hey, is that movement in your pants?
That's the question.
A little bit of beer, but a lot of vodka.
How does all this stack up when we bring it into a fantasy landscape?
I did absolutely no research on purpose, just because I basically had them everywhere.
I mean, no, that's what we're trying to harness here.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Hey, fellas, look, we've got to the bottom of running back. I'm really thankful for your time. Goodness, it's so good to have not just having Kieran Goodall on, not just having Pete Neal on, but having you both on the same show with Taylor Goodall. This has been a bumper week for those who've been following the show for a little while. Pete, thank you so much for joining us, mate. It's good to have you around.
Mate, again, thank you very much for having us, man. It's great to talk some shit with you guys, and look forward to the next one.
Hey, Kieran, it's also great to have you around. I mean, you have brought all sorts of amazing analysis from all kinds of corners of the world of analysis. I even heard you change complete octaves at one point there. It's a wonder to behold. Thank you so much.
No, I was looking forward to come back on. I was really glad we could run it back.
We're going to have you both back through the regular season too, because we really have revamped the starts of the week segment, and just the value you two will bring to that. We've got to have you back through the season. Will you both consent to doing that at this stage, or do we have to go through your lawyers?
Depends how drunk I am. Am I able to consent? I don't know.
Pete, how do you land on this?
Oh, mate, bring me back. Wait till Chase Brown has an injury and Zach Moss has that 30-point game. Let's all come back together. Let's talk about it. It's going to be fantastic.
I think just wait till Kev's on the podcast. That's going to be enough to get your blood up, mate. That'll do.
Oh, can I do one with Kev? That'd be amazing. Yeah, I would love to do one with Kev.
Honestly, our regular season's probably going to need to have two people per show because Yes, so there's a good chance that a lot of those shows are going to have two people anyway, so we can definitely do that.
Okay, let's line it up the week before the Packers play the Bears. They'll play them twice. Yeah. Let's do something like that. That'd be amazing. I'd love to do that because I love Kev, but I love giving him shit, and he loves giving me shit. It's the best.
We have got the whole schedule.
Oh, look at this guy.
Solve it, mate. Schedule on a page.
It's like a draft board.
That's awesome.
Doesn't it? We have just seen the community just ballooned so much in recent times, especially since the AGN has been doing so many things. We've been to Newcastle to broadcast an entire game. We've also had our thumb in the pie of talking about Hunter Gridiron. We've had ACT Gridiron. We've been doing amazing things on the show here. The G'day Gridiron guys have been fantastic. So everything is just trending up here at the Aussie Gridiron Network. And we are so thrilled that the community continues to grow. If you want to join the community, reach out to us on Instagram at Aussie Gridiron Network. You can reach me at Matty Podcast. You can reach Buffett over here at Taylor 41. But also, we would love to try and get more folks who are Australian-based, who are into their NFL fantasy through the show too. And because we've just grown this community so much, it means that we are looking down at the barrel of the regular season and trying to fill that up. Taylor is going to 100%. He is going to be all in for this regular season. He's got to try and defend his start of the week crown against me. You can find him, Taylor41. You can find me at Matty Podcast. Like and subscribe everywhere you get the Aussie Gridiron Network. Fellas, I'm going to let you go. Thank you again for joining us. And take care out there. We will see you through the regular season. And we're going to certainly be talking about the Perrier through the course of the regular season. Hooroo, fellas.
Thanks, lad. You're a good champion.
Adios.
See you, Kizza.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including G'day Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo!